Good. Not good. Yeah. Hello there.
Kia ora. Hello. Hi.
Awesome.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm so sorry we were going back and forth so much, woman.
You're okay. You know what? I've learned a lesson because I've done these since the end of April, is that I need to be better at following up with people. So,
well, I was ready, but I was looking at the time. I'm going 1 p.m. I thought it was 1 p.m. Eastern.
I had somebody else count the other way. They're like, so that means 11. I was like, no. So, so what I'll do is,
so how many people do we have on, or what's the plan?
I have 16 signed up, but that doesn't mean that 16 will show up. So what I'll do is I usually give about 5 minutes, and then I start recording, and then I will watch. I'm going to do this too. I'm going to make you co-host. There we go. And then I'll watch the chat in case people have any questions. And then I record it. I put it on my YouTube channel. But then if they stay, if people have questions afterwards, they can go ahead and ask questions. I mean, I can interrupt if we're going along, but the common things that come up usually are, what's happening. I did talk to Bob Para from Fiji, and he said that you guys are really close to the bubble opening.
No, it's a Trans-Tasman, so they're definitely talking a lot about it. There's a lot of conversations, but nothing has, both governments have been talking, but nothing has been agreed to.
So you know where I met you? You probably don't remember, but it's fine because you meet a gazillion people. I met you at GTM East like 2 years ago when you guys came out with the American Airlines.
Yes, yeah, I remember the pajamas. Are you still wearing them?
I do, and I remember because I was thinking about it going, that airplane that they talked about and how the air circulated. I was like, that's got to be I don't even know which number it was.
It was American Airlines, and they had it was the 787s, but they were filtration. It's their filtration system is incredible. Yeah. So yeah, and it's so funny that it's switched to that now, right?
Like, I bet everyone's going to want to do that now, because that's like my husband has said. I'm a severe asthmatic, and he goes, I don't mind going to Mexico or going to these places. He goes, it's flying.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what everybody's saying, right? Because it's the unknown, and we also just don't know enough about the virus.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, and we're in Arizona. In Arizona right now, we had 4,000 cases yesterday.
Yeah, crazy. That's crazy. And that's what's happening in Florida too. Yeah.
People here are irritated. So, I just went to go get my husband a Father's Day car on Saturday. So I go to CVS, I wear my mask, and this guy walks in, he's like, this is BS, blah, 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 blah. They're all irritated, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't want to get political, but I'm like, come on. Just are frustrated. And so we don't know what's going to happen. And so I just tell people, I go, if you're going to book a trip, I work with 2 big vendors right now. I work with Classic and Pleasant. I have been working with Islands in the Sun and Travel Too. And I said, but I work with people who sell cancel for any reason insurance. I said, that's the only insurance you can have that's going to cover COVID. Nobody's covering COVID.
No, and that's it. You just really have to be, and all of those vacations that are being, promoted are all like cancel for any reason, or
Yeah, so I had someone right now that was supposed to go this May, and they were doing Australia, New Zealand. And as I'm going through the New Zealand Tourism Board thing, I'm like, oh, you got to make it 2 trips. You really
Yeah,
do.
you do.
They're both so unique, both. And I'm failing yours so bad.
Oh, it's so hard.
So much harder
It's not
than
easy. No, it's not easy. No, it's definitely challenging.
But it's
I
good.
love it.
If you
I
have
love
gone somewhere, what happens is it is definitely, you know, I always tell people, like, if I don't know what I'm talking about, then I work with people who do. So I spend
Yes.
my time, people tease me about going on vacations, but I spend my time traveling to places. When I went to Tahiti tourism thing this year, I saw
Yeah.
resorts in 12 days and a trade show. I didn't post videos of my feet crying or any of that, but because I wanted to learn about things that I sell a ton of. So we have some good friends that live in Australia, and my parents' favorite trip outside South Africa has always been New Zealand.
Yeah, I believe it.
And everyone who goes to Australia, and I don't want to compete with them, they go to New Zealand. Oh, I'm making lots of noise. That's lovely, honey. I love the ceiling.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
So we've got a couple more people. So, but what we
Yeah, that's fine. Take your time. It's all right. So I'm going to do an overview of New Zealand.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
And you live in LA, though.
Yes.
How long have you been here?
In this role, 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
5 years.
That's amazing. Well, you guys have the best accent ever. So I would say, like, why did we get rid of ours? Ours is so boring. And I'm from Chicago, so mine's even worse.
Classic. No, it's not.
Yeah.
I think your accents are different and unique too, right? It's different. Everyone wants what they don't have.
Yeah, I know. I want curly hair. So.
Oh yeah.
I know.
Yeah, no, I got straight hair.
So, well, you can go ahead and start, and people will bounce in. You can
Okay.
yourself, and then, like I said, we're right now at about 10, and then 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and then I'll just watch people, and then, like I said to anyone who's on here now, if you have questions, go ahead and use the chat. We're going to introduce and let her talk about it, and then at the end, if you guys have questions that we haven't answered, please, of course, let us know.
Sounds like a plan. Alrighty. Well, kia ora, everyone. My name's Alana Piechak, and I am with Tourism New Zealand. I am really excited about taking you on a journey today through New Zealand, and I'm going to start with a little video first. So I'll share my screen and play this video for you. Okay.
That's so pretty.
Well, for some reason it seems to be just spinning. Hang on, there we go. Okay, can you hear that?
No.
No? Okay, 1 second. Just fix the video sound.
Where are you from in New Zealand?
South Island, in a little place called Roxburgh, right in the south. It's about an hour drive to go to Queenstown. Yeah. Yeah, so tiny. 500 people.
Right now. I'm living in South Island.
Yeah, it's cold right now. Winter, opposite seasons.
Yes.
Can you hear that? Perfect.
If these lands could speak, what would they say? They would say, welcome.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. They would invite you in to share this extraordinary part of the world. This place, it's yours too. This land is wide open for sharing. Our culture welcomes all cultures. So let us show you around. Lead you to our natural wonders. And throw you headfirst into our beautiful countryside. Because what you'll find down here, what you'll hear within our mountains, our lakes, and our people, what you'll discover on your journey throughout this precious land is that you're welcome here. Make yourself at home.
Alrighty, who wants to go to New Zealand now?
All right. One big question before we start. What
Yes.
is it called again when you guys touch nose?
When you touch noses, it's called the hongi. And what it is sharing the breath of life. So the idea is that when you touch noses, you press noses, we're all sharing the same space, and our culture, Māori culture, is Indigenous culture, and the idea is that of New Zealand, and the idea is that we breathe the same life, we share the same space, and everything is connected. So the mountains, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes. As Māori, we actually, and I'm part Māori, my grandmother was from Rotorua in the North Island. As Māori, because we have this connection, we don't actually say we're from a town as such, really. We say my mountain is Te Arawa. So my mountain is Te Arawa, and my river is Awaho. So it's my landmarks, essentially, within New Zealand that we connect to, which is really, really special. Really, really unique culture, and really something that I haven't heard of before, saying that I have my mountain and my river as to where I am from. Yeah.
It must be really difficult right now with COVID to not feel like you can get that close to someone.
Right, exactly. And challenging, definitely. And also especially in the culture, because hugging is a big part of our culture and connection, right? So yeah, definitely challenging.
Yeah. I just distinctly remember that in that video when I met you 2 years ago, and how unique that was about your culture, that the warmth and the people leave with. It reminds me of when I was talking to people in Fiji. They're like, you leave and you feel sad because you want to be with the people.
That's right. That's right. You miss the people, and I mean, a lot of people travel to New Zealand and they have this idea that the landscapes are going to be stunning, and they certainly are. This is one of my favorite spots behind me, Lake Pukaki in the South Island, and the water is truly this blue. This was a photo I took. This is not even this is not retouched. This is nothing. This is a photo. Oh, and I was sitting on the rocks. So I think that's the beautiful thing about New Zealand, is that it's like a postcard everywhere you go, and when you travel around the country, you see it, you just want to stop and take photos. Yeah. Now, you would have heard two simple little words, kia ora, and kia ora. There are many different meanings for kia ora, and I have another little video here just to provide some more context and more insight as to why we say kia ora and what that actually means.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
When I say kia ora to somebody, it's an obvious acknowledgement to them. It is the hello for us in Māori.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Kia ora. It's friendly. You've got no enemies here.
It's really important to acknowledge a person. By using the word kia ora, we acknowledge not just them, but everything about them. Where they come from, who they come from, and that's a big one, who they come from.
Kia ora, auntie. Kia ora, uncle. Kia ora, kia koe, bro.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
I'm saying it on behalf of my family, past and present, in the community, welcoming you.
When she gets known, the phrases vary, the context varies, but the words are still the same.
Hey, kia ora, welcome on board.
We have a saying, he iti te kupu, nui te kōrero. And what they're saying is, although the word is only small, the meaning is great. It's massive.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Kia ora to us means good health. As Māori, when we were born, we're born as kaitiaki, and kaitiaki means guardian. And we are guardians of the whenua, of the land, and guardians of people. It's the manaakitanga that you're going to give to the people. Manaakitanga means to be looked after. Our thing is to go above and beyond of looking after people, looking after the land.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
We don't get up and say what street we come from. We talk about our mountains, we talk about our rivers, our oceans. The worldview we have, the land and everything upon it is our older sibling. for us, that's why we have so much respect for the land, for nature. That's why all our designs come from nature. It's that whole cycle, it's that whole life force, that Māori, that order.
Kia ora is such a beautiful word. It's got such a wonderful meaning.
It comes from the heart. It's not just lip service, no matter who says it.
Have a go, be brave, say the word kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Yora. So it's pretty special, and that is our culture, and it's interwoven throughout the entire country. There's many different cultural experiences that you can have, and it's very unique and a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
All right, now have we got people waiting? I just thought.
No, I got it. I just have my speakers on.
Gotcha. I was like, I hope people aren't waiting.
My husband
Great.
walk through this door. Unfortunately, I am not a Hobbit, and I'm the only person in the world who doesn't like that or Star Wars. I know.
Right. Well, see, I've only seen a couple of the movies, but I just, when I first went to Hobbiton, I had never, ever been to Hobbiton. I didn't even see the movies or anything. The first time I went, I was like, oh, okay, I didn't even understand. But what's so great about it is that the guides, they're so personable, and they actually have their own stories, and a lot of them were actually extras on the movie.
Oh, look,
which is great.
I saw the movie the first time, and my husband will laugh, and I literally at the end of the movie went, oh my God, it's not over.
He just keeps on going. It keeps on giving. It keeps on giving.
Oh my God.
Classic. Now, I'm going to share with you something special now. It's called the Tiaki Promise. The Tiaki Promise is an initiative that our government agencies all partnered up with, and it's all about protection of the land for future generations. So I'm going to play this video, and I would love to hear how you feel about this, because I'm very proud of this initiative and very excited to share it with you.
Ko rangi nui e tū iho nei.
Rangi nui is our Sky Father.
Ko tāne mahuta, nāna te ngahiri.
Tāne mahuta is our forest.
Ko Papa Tuanuku e takoto nei.
Papa Tuanuku is our Earth Mother.
Ko Tangaroa, nāna te moana ki usa. Ko ngā awa me ngā roto.
Tangaroa is our ocean, our rivers, our lakes.
Ko Aotearoa, tō tātou ukai.
New Zealand is our home. It is precious. Everyone who lives and travels here has a responsibility to look after it.
Tiaki means to care for people and place. The Tiaki Promise is a commitment to care for New Zealand, for now and for future generations.
To care for land, sea and nature, treading lightly and leaving no trace.
To travel safely, showing care and consideration for all.
To respect culture, travelling with an open heart and mind.
While travelling in New Zealand, follow the Tiaki Promise. Act as a guardian.
Protect and preserve our home.
Help us care for New Zealand.
I'm extremely proud of that as an initiative. And I think the great thing about it is that we are protecting New Zealand for future generations. We don't want over-tourism. We're really everyone's responsibility, whoever travels to New Zealand, it's all of our responsibilities to take care of the land, to take care of the people, to take care of the culture and respect it. And as part of that, in tourism and how it applies to tourism is traveling with purpose and traveling with care. So our destination when traveling around New Zealand, you're actually driving on the other side of the road. So driving carefully, you know, and just being mindful of the road rules and the road responsibilities, you know, rubbish or trash. We really pride ourselves on recycling in New Zealand. So there are trash cans or trash bins for all different types of recycling, you know, and that's really prevalent throughout the entire country. Protecting our nature and following the paths and just showing respect in general for the different, you know, cultures and for the culture in general. So the initiative was launched and we've had incredible feedback from a lot of travellers to New Zealand, and it almost makes them feel proud and also a part of this, you know, look like part of the initiative to keep it safe and clean and for future generations, you know. So yeah, what did you think about that one, Susan?
I loved it. I love that. I think that's I think sometimes your country gets lumped in with Australia, and this again has nothing to do with Australia, but that there is a uniqueness to you, and part of the uniqueness is you are not overcrowded. You take care of your environment. The reason that the beauty is there is because of that, and the people that live there really care about where they live.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's really important when you're looking for, especially when I'm talking to people about why they want to go on a vacation. You can go to beautiful countries, but you know, you want to be I like to immerse myself in meeting people and being a part of that. My husband and I are really big on that and helping people understand that when they go there. You know, this is not the place to go party. This is not the place to go do an all-inclusive type place. This is the place to really go and be a part of New Zealand. And this shows a lot of that. I thought that was really, really cool. Of course.
Just the beauty, it's the beauty in of itself, right? The nature, stunning. What's that?
What's the language that they're talking in?
So there's two national languages, English and Māori, Te Reo Māori, and so that's the Indigenous language of New Zealand. But English is spoken widely throughout the country as well.
Wonderful.
All right. I'm going to throw another video in there. Look at that. I didn't realize I had another one, but this is, I just love my videos. I think videos can speak volumes in terms of showing our destination. And also it spurs a lot of questions, I'm sure, too, around the scenery.
Right. Oh, gosh, that's beautiful.
Kia ora, everyone. Welcome.
So when I hear somebody say kia ora, it's a true, authentic welcome greeting. It's a warm, fuzzy feeling.
Kia ora is a greeting you'll frequently hear throughout New Zealand. It's a greeting from our family to yours, wishing you good health, a welcome from the heart, and it's often the first touch of manaakitanga. But what is manaakitanga, and how will it help you inspire your clients to book New Zealand? Manaakitanga is a Māori concept shared by all New Zealanders. Mana is about honour and integrity. When we add aki to this, it becomes about respecting the mana of others. And when we add tanga, it describes the many ways we do that, like welcoming people, looking after them, and respecting them. Through manaakitanga, New Zealanders enhance our own mana. So in its simplest form, manaakitanga is the warm and respectful way that New Zealanders embrace and welcome visitors, look after them throughout their journey, and invite them into their culture.
I would describe manaakitanga with warmth, laughter, and authenticity.
I think I immediately get a sense of just feeling a warmth. There's a warmth that comes from that, and they're grateful that we've come to their country.
When talking about New Zealand, of course you'll share photos of dramatic landscapes with your clients and discuss the wide range of activities and attractions. But make sure you dedicate part of your discussion to New Zealand's culture and people. Manaakitanga is intangible. It is about the connections your clients will make and the stories they will bring home, and it will make a lasting impact. The friendly and down-to-earth people will be one of the things your clients will treasure most about New Zealand.
They're so willing and open, and they really want to share not only their experiences of New Zealand, but they want to tell us about who they are. It was very heartwarming to see that. You feel very welcome, and I didn't feel like a tourist.
You don't have to be an expert on Māori culture to talk about manaakitanga. You can inspire your clients by talking about the genuine friendliness extended by New Zealanders and how the concept of manaakitanga will ensure they will feel welcomed when travelling.
If I had one word, I would say welcoming.
They look at visitors as their family. It went beyond being nice.
From a simple kia ora to the unforgettable interactions with locals, your clients will feel welcome and embraced by New Zealand's manaakitanga. Arrive a stranger, leave as whānau. For more ideas on how to sell New Zealand, itineraries and stories of our people, please visit our Journey of Manaakitanga section on traveltrade.newzealand.com.
Yeah, so that just shows you even more about the experience that your clients would have, or that you would have when traveling to New Zealand, and just the diversity again and the culture. And it's not an easy, it's not a hard or difficult concept. It's just that we pride ourselves on manaakitanga, and we want to go above and beyond when you travel to New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we have this incredible diversity across the entire country. So, and all the different types of accommodations, whether they be luxury lodges, to motels, hotels, and even motorhomes. So self-driving and motorhomes is very, very common in New Zealand. I said we drive on the other side of the road, and I say it's the right side of the road because I'm used to driving on that side of the road, but it's just, there's a vacation for any type of traveller in New Zealand. The landscapes are so different and so diverse. Our embracing people, like I said, it's all about the people. It's all about providing an incredible experience when traveling to New Zealand. Your natural playground. There's only 4.5 million people that live in New Zealand. So it's not crowded. It's about the same size as California, but plenty of wide open spaces. So you get vistas like this, and it's just pristine, untouched, natural, and gorgeous.
I think The Bachelor went there, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did.
I used to watch them. I don't watch them anymore, but I
love it.
I think they're not real now. Of course, I believe them for a while.
Oh, yeah. It's a reason to travel to New Zealand in any season. And we say the opposite seasons from North America. So right now we're going into winter in New Zealand, and you're in summer. So that's the difference. And again, because it's so diverse, the temperature in the North Island, it's warmer. In the South Island, it's cooler in temperatures. How do you get to New Zealand? Currently, we have 5 flights a week operating out of Los Angeles. We previously, prior to COVID-19, had flights out of a number of North American gateways. And we also had 3 new routes launching this year, but they have now been postponed due to the current situation. So there is a direct flight. Unfortunately, our borders are temporarily closed. So we are sitting at a level 1 alert, which is, we've gone from a level 4 down to a level 1 alert, which is fantastic. And we're going in the right direction in terms of combating COVID-19. But at the same time, our borders are only open to New Zealand citizens currently until the government makes any other decisions on that, and the health department as well.
12 hours is not that bad.
It's not. And the great thing about that flight is you cross the international date line, right? So there's a myth. A lot of people say, oh, it's 24 hours, it's 48 hours. The reason people have that assumption is because you depart perhaps on a Friday evening out of Los Angeles and you arrive on a Sunday morning, but it's 2 days later, right? So you're crossing the date line, and that's where that comes into play. But 12 hours overnight on a flight on Air New Zealand, as the flight it's operating currently, direct out of LA, is absolutely comfortable. It is an international carrier, so you do get served meals, and you do have comfortable, larger seats than traveling domestically, perhaps in the United States. Easy to get around New Zealand. The domestic flights are all operating. and they are operating now. I just had a call with our team, and we had some staff in New Zealand, or some colleagues who had travelled on their first flight in 3 months this week, and everything is back to normal in New Zealand, operating at level 1. It's just that international travellers or visitors, the borders aren't open right now. So here's a satellite image I love. This just shows you again the mountainous regions of New Zealand. You can see there along the west coast all of the snow on that satellite image. Because the terrain is so diverse, there's a contrast from the North Island to the South Island. And you can see that in this. I love this image. So our land size, or our land mass, is about the same size as Japan and the UK, United Kingdom. And you can see here from this image, there's about 4.5 or 4.7 million in population in New Zealand, compared to Japan, which is 126 million in the same similar landmass. And then the UK about 64, I think it might have gone up a little bit, maybe 65 million now. So we are definitely not crowded in terms of a destination. Beautiful, beautiful wide open spaces. I talked about temperatures before, but this just gives you an idea of the temperatures in Fahrenheit and the diversity, and that is because of the North Island and the South Island, north, being warmer and south being cooler. My favorite time to travel is actually in spring, where you can see here these flowers, the lupins, September to November. They all start to come out. It's crisp, beautiful days as the sun is melting the snow on the mountains, and it's just a very stunning time to be traveling. We always say to layer up in New Zealand, so wear comfortable shoes, wear thermals, but then also have layers so that you can either put on sweaters and jackets, or reduce, depending. A rain jacket, and then also sunscreen and a hat as well. Why New Zealand? Well, we've talked a lot about the culture, so I've explained that to you, and it's incredibly rich and very unique. World-class cuisine and wine. We love our food in New Zealand, and I remember the first time I came to the States and someone said, "Oh, it's organic," and I said, "Oh, what does that mean?" And it was funny because they said, "Oh, like it's from the farm." I said, right. So with us in New Zealand, we have a lot of just organic gardens out the back. You go and pick fresh your vegetables and your fruits, and the meat is fresh, and we enjoy a lot of lamb as one of our favorite meals, I guess. Lamb and fish and chips and seafood, and a lot of fresh produce. Very friendly. We love showing people around our country, and it's a very safe and secure, stable destination. Who is this guy, I hear you ask? He's a Kiwi. He is one of our native birds. He doesn't fly. He's nocturnal. He can't really see very well. He's pretty blind. And he's endangered in New Zealand because he is a natural predator, and because he has all of those characteristics, he's easy for stoats, unfortunately, introduced stoats and possums to attack them. But these guys are beautiful. They're so cute, and they're endangered. And we have a lot of breeding programs in New Zealand. And I definitely recommend that you go to visit one of the sanctuaries and see them in person, because they are very unique to New Zealand.
Oh, that's a great idea. Go see a sanctuary, or go see. I didn't never think about that.
Oh yeah. And we have some of the most interesting bird life, but also marine life in New Zealand as well. So just for some reason, the birds, they just migrated and they stayed in New Zealand. And because there was no natural predators, like there's no snakes, we don't have any snakes, we don't have anything else that's ferocious or fierce in terms of natural predators, that the birds just they're in abundance. And a lot of them, like I said, because they've adapted to it's incredible, they've adapted. They don't have any wings, they don't fly, flightless. It's unbelievable. We're also famous for our adventure, relaxation, sports, and sightseeing as well. Great value for money. The exchange rate is always stronger, the US dollar to the New Zealand dollar, so fantastic for future trips or trip planning. Tips are not compulsory in New Zealand. It's not part of our culture, but you certainly can tip if you would like to. There is a wide range of accommodations as well, and it's great value for money. So moving through to the North Island, I talked about this already. It's a little bit warmer in the north. We have incredible geothermal and volcanic scenery in the north. moving down to the south, we have these dramatic sceneries and landscapes, and think Lord of the Rings scenery and braided rivers and mountains, snow-capped mountains. It's a lot cooler, a lot of glacial lakes, and also fjords. Starting at the top, I'm going to take you through on this whirlwind journey through New Zealand, just to give you a rundown on the different towns and where we're sitting. So this is Auckland. This is the gateway to New Zealand. This is where all the international flights fly into. There's about 1.5 million New Zealanders or Kiwis that live in Auckland, and it's famous for sailing. So we have this little yacht race that might be taking place next year called America's Cup in Auckland. I'll kid you not, this city will be alive. Like we love our sports, as I mentioned, and sailing is one of them. We are ferocious sailors, and we love getting out on the water. And Auckland's surrounded by the bay and the Hawke Gulf, so there's all these islands, and it's absolutely stunning, this city. Now, about 40 minutes outside of the city, there's a cute little island called Waiheke. Now, Waiheke is known for wine. So if you're into wine, or you like to just take a ferry and go and experience about 40 boutique little wineries on the island and do some olive tastings. There's a lot of natural organic produce that's grown on the island. It's just a beautiful little escape from the city. And I always say it's great like when you first arrive in the morning, to just take the ferry out and spend the day on the island, because it's a nice way to keep motivated, keep moving from the jet lag, if you do suffer from jet lag, and then get back, and then you can have dinner and go to bed that evening and hit the ground running the next day for the rest of the vacation. 3 hours drive north of Auckland is the birthplace of a nation. This is where the Waitangi Treaty was signed in 1840. And what is the Waitangi Treaty, I hear you ask? Well, it is awesome, because the Waitangi Treaty is all about a signing of a document by the European English settlers and the Māori chiefs. Not all the Māori chiefs signed this document, but the idea was to sign the document to agree that both the European and English settlers would live harmoniously with the Māori tribes in New Zealand. So it is incredible to go and visit the Waitangi Treaty grounds, go through the museum and experience the museum, learn about the history of New Zealand, both the English settlers and the European settlers, and also the Māori different tribes, because it's not just one Māori tribe, but there's many different tribes within New Zealand, and each of them they all speak Māori, Te Reo Māori, but they all have different unique identifiers or symbols that you can tell, even from the weaving that this woman is wearing, and her moku, her tattoo, as well, that she has, the different designs. It's very unique and very cultural experience. Significant to travel there. Yeah.
Seriously? Those are worms?
Glowworms, yes. So these are called the glowworms, the Waitomo glowworm caves, and they are just south now. So we're going to head down south to the Waikato region. And in Waikato, they're famous for these glowworms. They are larvae. They are living. The idea of a glowworm is that they will glow like this to catch their dinner. Yes.
Oh my gosh. They don't crawl, they don't fall and crawl on you?
No, they don't. They just they like to enjoy dark spaces, and I mean, when you take this boat journey through the caves and you look up, it's like a sea of stars, and it's absolutely incredible.
Not a sea of worms.
A sea of stars. It's just shining and spectacular. I love it.
My husband's got to be laughing, because he knows not going.
No, they are larvae. Yes, they are, and yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
They're just trying to catch their dinner. But no, they're a bioluminescence, incredible experience, and definitely there's some perhaps adventurers who are on this call that would like to go and do the blackwater tubing or blackwater rafting. I love it. It's an incredible experience. Nothing like putting on a wetsuit, jumping into freezing cold water and cruising through the caves and looking up and seeing a sea of stars, glowworms, as you are taking these rapids basically and rafting through the caves. So there are many different levels, like I said, of adventure. This is a soft adventure that I'm showing you here in the little boat journey, but you can also do the tubing as well, or even rappelling down into the caves. That's another experience.
There you go, babe. That's what my husband would do.
Yeah, it's so fun. So fun. Again, so many different levels, right?
Woo! That's so oh, I know that house.
Okay, so now we're moving on to Matamata. Hobbiton, the movie set location is in this, just outside the township of Matamata. It's a 2.5-hour drive from Auckland, and it's private farmland. So this is the owner, Russell, and he he's part of the Alexander family. And the day that Peter Jackson's scout spotted this farmland, he said, okay, I want you to go down and I want you to go and just take a look and scout around and see, because this looks like the perfect place for us to build Hobbiton. So it was rugby. A rugby match was on. And, you know, I told you about our sports, right? So the family's all sitting down watching the rugby. They said, okay, go and take a look around, whatever you need to do, but just close the gate, because they're mad sheep family and they farm sheep, right? So they're known for their farming, and they didn't want the sheep to get out. So Russell tells this story, and to this day, it was so casual and so Kiwi and so friendly and so warm. And they built the set on their farmland. So they never knew that this was going to be their fate. They had, and when they signed everything initially, they said, oh, just make sure you put everything back once you're finished. So they actually teared it all down the first movie. They teared everything down, and the family went, oh, hang on a second. No, we just want to do some touring, so can you leave it? So they ended up rebuilding it for the second and actually building some more holes. And the story is legendary that they actually worked it out so they could have Hobbiton as a tourist attraction. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Just
cool.
Amazing, you know, and just some of the facts around this movie. It employed so many New Zealanders. They had, you know, 70 set builders, 44 hobbit holes they built. They had over 600 people on this set. And the detail, the level of detail, even if you haven't seen the movies, is incredible.
Everyone that's gone to this, that I've sent there, no matter what they've liked or not, they said this was one of their favorite things they've done.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. It
Yeah.
truly is. Yeah.
Wow.
So now we're going to move down to the cultural heart. I talked a lot about this. This is where my grandmother was born. This is where my whānau, a lot of my family are in this area. This is known for the geothermal activity, a lot of steaming mud pools, bubbling mud pools, sweeping volcanic landscapes. It's really interesting. And for anyone who's into geology and geothermal activity, it's very, very, very interesting region. A lot of scientists like to go and visit this region because of the activity and obviously the mud, and the mud is very therapeutic. So there's a lot of therapy type spa experiences in this region. A lot of relaxation as well. And you can see they're having a feast here. And the feast is actually being cooked in steaming hot water naturally in the geothermal water. So that's in a steam basket. And that's the traditional way of how our Māori culture or our tradition is how we would cook in the steam in the water.
That's so
this shows you. I know, it's so neat, isn't it? And the geothermal systems, and that's why a lot of scientists, they are fascinated, and researchers, in just how the structure is set up, because that's all boiling hot and there's steam just rising out of that landscape. Now we're moving further down. We love our wine in New Zealand, and it's a huge export, and I know that you have a lot of our New Zealand wines here in the States that you can actually drink, which is great. This is Hawke's Bay. This is our oldest wine region in New Zealand, famous, and I talked about temperatures earlier. So the temperatures across the entire country are so diverse, but that allows for different grape varietals as well. So in the Hawke's Bay region, it's known for the sunshine and really robust and really dark reds. So a lot of red grapes are grown here, and a lot of beautiful reds come out of this region. Lots of wine tours available. And what's so great about this place and so interesting is that the main city, called Napier, is all Art Deco. So it kind of reminds you a little bit of South Beach, Florida, in that the structures and just the design and the architecture is all Art Deco. So you can do walking tours, and they have guided walking tours. They have old classic car tours throughout the city, because you feel like you're stepping back in time. It's a really incredible experience, again, and a part of New Zealand's culture and history. The city, the reason why it's built Art Deco is in 1931, it was destroyed by an earthquake and then a fire. Just took over the entire entire area and region, and basically they had to rebuild it. And in the time, Art Deco was the architecture, and that was what they did. So really, really unique. Moving down to Wellington. Wellington's the capital, located in the south of the North Island there, you can see on the map. Famous, well, obviously that's our beehive, that's our Parliament House, and we call it the beehive. That's where Jacinda Ardern, our Prime Minister, has a lot of meetings, and the state cabinets meet. The great thing about Wellington is it's a very, it has a very funky culture, coffee culture, but also a lot of beer, so a lot of brewing companies, a lot of quirky cafes, but quirky artists as well, so a lot of artistry. And the city is on the bay, and just around from the main city area is a place called Weta Workshop. And the Weta Workshop is where the movie magic comes to life. So if you are a moviegoer and you are interested in learning more about Lord of the Rings and how they created all that magic, and also Hobbiton, then you can visit the workshop here and see, and actually have some tours. You can go behind the scenes. You can learn all about that in Wellington. Okay, more wine. More wine, more wine. What's so great about this is we're in the North Island now, and again, we're talking about temperatures. It's warmer in this part of the North Island though, and it's perfect for Marlborough, perfect for Sauvignon Blancs. So this is where all of our Sauvignon Blancs come from, and I know there is a lot of Sauvignon Blancs exported to the United States and Canada from New Zealand. So nothing pairs better than seafood with a Sauvignon Blanc. So we have a lot of fresh green-lipped mussels that you can experience here. Lots of fish in this region. It's a stunning area, and you can also swim with the dolphins. Moving on to the dolphins. Oh my goodness. These guys are some of the smallest dolphins you will ever see in the world. They are the smallest and rarest. They are called Hector Dolphins. They are so cute. They jump, and the pods are hundreds and hundreds. Like you see them in pods of hundreds. And visiting Kaikoura in the South Island and actually seeing them and going out on a cruise, swimming with them, is one of the most incredible experiences. You do get a wetsuit, so you will be warm in a wetsuit, and they are heavy duty wetsuits because it is pretty cold. Not gonna lie, but amazing experience. You can also go whale watching year round here as well, and the whales are always there. They love it. They're always there. You're going to see whales pretty much 96% of the time is what the guarantee is if you're into the marine life.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Now I'm taking you across to the other side of the South Island because we're talking about diversity here. These glaciers, so Fox and Franz Joseph glaciers, or glaciers, are on the west coast. We call it the Wild West. The Wild West coast is so rugged, but the opportunity here where you can actually see, and there's only 2 places in the world where you can actually view the glaciers descending into a temperate rainforest. So it's one of those bucket list experiences. And the first time I visited here, I'll never forget it. I went out to the beach because you can stand on the beach and you can look up. You can see the subtemperate rainforest. Wow. You can see the glacier, and then you can actually see the Southern Alps, the mountains behind. And the highest mountain is Mount Cook behind that. So it's absolutely, you can do heli hiking, you can go and see the Blue Caves, you can do a helicopter, just a trip over to go and see the glaciers. Absolutely amazing.
Can I ask, where's the other place that you can do this?
I think it's Argentina, pretty sure. Maybe Argentina. I've got to check. Yeah, I think it's Argentina, but it's South America somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Maybe it's Patagonia. Maybe Patagonia.
I've been on one glacier. It was in Canada. It was not like that, but it's an unbelievable experience that you all have to do. To be a part of something that is moving and growing and changing, and the earth. I thought, oh, it's just snow. I grew up in Chicago. It's just snow.
Yeah, it's not. It's so not.
No, it's not like that. No, it was really, really. I went to Columbia ice fields up in Canada. It was beautiful, right along the Continental Divide.
Oh wow, awesome.
Yeah, it was really pretty.
Yeah, amazing.
That is stunning, though. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, our country is so diverse. You've seen like volcanoes and geothermal activity, and then you've got wineries and then glaciers. And we haven't even got to my favorite part yet. So I'm going to keep moving because I know we've got a couple of minutes and then I want some questions. So you can walk in landscapes. Now, I haven't talked about this part of our culture. This is our Scottish influence and our Scottish heritage. So we talked a lot about our Māori and we've talked about the English. But we also had a lot of Scottish settlers that came and moved to New Zealand. And with them, they brought their incredible Edwardian architecture. So when you visit the South Island in this little town called Dunedin, you get to see architecture like this. And it's almost like stepping into Edinburgh in Scotland, but a mini version, because the streets were all, they basically replicated Edinburgh and the streets and all the street names in Dunedin. So it's very hilly. So a lot of the streets, it's got the steepest street in Dunedin actually has it's hilarious, a Jaffa rolling competition. Now Jaffas are a chocolate candy, and there's hundreds and thousands of these Jaffas that everybody puts a number on, and they roll down this steepest street in Dunedin. No. And basically, there's they do because the Cadbury chocolate factory was there, located there as well. So as part of that was this big competition every year, and everybody went in and threw Jaffas down this steep steep hill. So steepest street, I should say. It was, if you look it up online, you'll see it's crazy. Very busy in Dunedin. It's also famous for the university. We have a number of international students that travel here that come for the university. It's well renowned, and it's pretty famous actually. And then the marine life and bird life, we have the Albatross Centre here. You can go and see the little blue penguins here. You can go see the yellow-eyed penguins, which are only found here, endemic to New Zealand as well. So a number of wildlife experiences out of Dunedin. My favourite, this is my absolute favourite, save the best till last. Maybe depending on if you like to be in the outdoors and love fjords, but this national park is spectacular. It is UNESCO World Heritage listed. It's right down the south of the South Island. Yes, it is chilly. It does get cold, and there's rain. The rainfall, most of the year there's precipitation in this part of New Zealand. So that's why we suggest take a rain jacket, and you will not be disappointed, because I kid you not, there'll be hundreds and hundreds of waterfalls around you. Oh, and there's nothing like taking a cruise onto Milford Sound and just having hundreds of waterfalls around you and just being in this. It's all very moody and mystical and magical. Incredible experience right there. Nothing like it. It's very special. Yeah, carved by glaciers during the ice ages. It is prehistoric. It feels prehistoric. It feels just, very peaceful.
That is just stunning.
Yeah.
What I think is that oh no, I'm never doing that.
That's the next one. That's for the adventure seekers out there. What were you going to say? Sorry, Susan, I cut you off.
No, I was just going to say is that what I love is that you've got this country that I think people so often lump in with Australia, which is beautiful and has its own thing. You could not be more different.
No. So diverse, just so diverse within the country as well. Like people don't realize, and they don't realize the size of New Zealand, right? So trying to do New Zealand in a week is doing it a disservice, really. Yeah, you need to go for longer so you can actually experience more.
Right.
Yeah, like this.
No way. I can watch you. You have fun, babe. I always say, I go, that's your next wife. Sorry.
So Queenstown's the home of adventure, and we love Queenstown, and it's like a little alpine village tucked in the mountains. Beautiful any time of the year. There's ski fields around in winter, and then summer you can see the sunshine in the lake as well. We invented bungee jumping in New Zealand. We are little tinkerers. We love ingenuity. We love innovation, and we like to try and test and push the limits. So there's no exception here with bungee jumping.
You look so
definitely a lot of fun.
Probably gonna die anyway.
So fun, so fun. And then skydiving, jet boating. What was that? Sorry?
How many times have you bungee jumped?
Twice. I've done bungee twice, and I've skydived 3 times here. Yeah.
I'm gonna skydive, but gosh, bungee jump. Ooh. I get pains up my legs when I get near the edge.
Oh yeah, because that's the hardest part, I think, jumping. That is the hardest part. Everything else is just awesome. But when you're standing there and you're ready to go, and it's hard.
I can't think about it.
No, exactly.
That's so cool. Oh, that's so fun. Oh,
This is just showing you some more of the contrasts around Queenstown because of the adventure side of things. But also if you're into golfing, some of the most pristine, beautiful, world-class golf courses as well.
That's so pretty.
Yeah.
I think this is what people think of is Queenstown. And when they think of they don't think of the rest that you just showed us of
No.
diversity and all that stuff. They think, oh, this is New Zealand. And they don't realize all the other things they could do.
Exactly, and it's sometimes it's a challenge to try to explain it all in such a short time because there is so much to see and do. You know, we haven't even talked about hiking. We haven't even talked about some of the other experiences. But yeah, as a first-time visitor, this is just sort of a brief overview.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. That's amazing. Well, and what I want to do is I really should email you on some questions because when people ask me sometimes, I'm like.
Yeah, I don't know. Absolutely. Ask. And obviously our website's great too. So newzealand.com is an amazing website with all of the information as well.
Yeah. I thank you so much. Now, I know you guys probably have some questions because of course I talk on it, but do you have, people have made comments, but anybody have any questions? If you got in late, she just said we don't have any idea about when it's going to open yet. We're just waiting. So wait. That's like anything else. If you are looking for trips, I have people right now that are looking. I have 2 people right now for April and May of next year. I just tell them that we only book trips right now with cancel for any reason insurance because there's no insurance company that's going to cover COVID. Or if something, if we get a wave 2, we don't know. We hope not. But we want to give you opportunity to have options instead of things changing. We realized that lots of vacations got changed in the last 4 months. So are there any questions that you guys have about what you saw or questions that you'd like to ask her?
Was it interesting? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Oh, good.
I'm going to go downstairs and he's going to go, when are we going?
Look at him. Yeah, he's already nodding.
This is really, this is such, what I love too is it's so compact so you can get a lot done. Well, that's the training. Like I said, it was like, you can drive, you can fly.
Yes.
I mean, you can backpack. I'm not backpacking and I don't help backpacker, but you can motorhome. You can do it. You can do a lot of different ways to do it, which is unique. There's not a lot of countries you can do that in anymore.
No, I think because we have so much flexibility, and I think tourism for us has been our #1 industry, right, for such a long time, and that's where Manaakitanga comes into play because everything is so bespoke because we've just created it, and because we have that ingenuity and that drive to want to please and want to provide an incredible experience because we love it just as much as you do, and it's our own country, So I think
every trip has been different. That's what I love too. I don't think I've ever done one trip the same.
Yes.
Somebody's like, oh, I want this. It's like, there's not a checklist. It's, my husband and I like red wine. And then people are like, oh, we're white wine people. But we want to go do this. My husband would probably love to jump off a cliff and crying like that. But I would have gone on a boat, and doing the jet thing or something like that. I would love to do that. We like to go eat at local restaurants, but we also like a nice hotel. With a bed and a spa because we're in our 50s. So where other people might want to do more of a bed and breakfast and stuff. So I love that every trip has been really, really unique, which makes it even that much cooler. So if you guys don't have any questions, what I'm going to do, high on your list of future trips. I agree. I'll say that
I love it.
How much you really can get a great value for this. It's not as out of your reach as I think people think it is.
No, it's not.
The airfare, like right now, the problem is, like she said at the beginning, we've lost some of the flights. So when you lose flights and you lose right now, like domestically, we're down to 40% of the flights that are flying. So like Phoenix to Cancun was up at $900 2 weeks ago. Well, that's not even what it normally was for first class. So now we're starting to get a little bit, because they're flying there, we're starting to get a little bit better flights. When they start opening, we're going to get better flights, but we can start doing land packages and then add flights at some point. So it's a lot more reasonable than people think. Of course, you can always go 5-star, but it's not as hard to get around as like Australia is. Australia is ginormous. Ginormous.
Well, Australia is the same size as mainland USA, and I think that's the difference, right? Everybody has that idea that and also that Australia and New Zealand are quite close when they're not actually that close. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Everybody that I meet that's a Kiwi, it's funny because they always go, oh, yeah, Australia. And then the people in Australia do the same thing. And I realize
we love them dearly. Come on, we love them dearly, but you know.
I know people go, oh, we're flying a long way, but I'll tell you, it's like when I learn all these different other places of the South Pacific, they are very different. And
yes,
is make your trip so great that you maybe want to go back, but then you go to another destination next time, is how I tell people, because if you skimp on it, you might not go back. You know, and if you don't go back, you're going to regret not going and seeing that. So I would rather go twice and go spend my time in Australia and see all of it, and then spend my time in New Zealand and see all of it, instead of combining it and making it lesser of it. Because look at what we just learned. I mean, gosh, that I could spend a month there.
Easily. Yeah, that's right.
I'm like,
that's right.
Live there.
Easily. Don't worry, everyone's trying to do that right now.
Oh, I'm sure. Gosh, I can't imagine. My daughter would love that because she loves marine life. I mean, she would love to go there. So, well, you are awesome, Alana. I mean, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, we're going to send you a follow-up. Your videos are amazing. We've been putting them on our YouTube also, and putting them up because they're, and I mean, Janelle is a friend of mine. I love seeing her in those. I remember going there and stuff. So it's fun to see those videos. And then it says, if you want to go work there, how do you get a work permit?
Oh, you need to go to the New Zealand immigration website. So there's a New Zealand immigration website, and you need to go there and then just see what's available.
Probably not working right now.
No, the borders are temporarily closed, as I mentioned, but certainly just just look at the immigration website. And maybe see, you never know, your company might have a transfer, or who knows.
You never.
Or maybe just go for a vacation and then just go back.
Well, I will contact you when I'm in LA because I'd love to connect with you. I know you said you're in Santa Monica, right?
Yes, yeah, that's where our office is.
Awesome.
That'd be great.
Thank you so much. You're awesome.
You're welcome. Back at you.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Ka kite anō. Thank you. See you later. Bye. Kia ora.